Okay, we got the center dividers in. We're putting the ends on. Okay, remember I left that little piece for the ends, and I just stuck it in there. Now this is going to be, they're going to be bent up, okay, all the way along. Or you could cut them straight and put hognose rings, doesn't make a difference, or J-clamps. Okay, notice I got hognose rings all the way up here, all the way across here. Okay. Alright, that's what we're doing, putting the two ends on. And then we'll be finished. Okay, I got the cage flipped up on the edge. All going in. As you can see, I got the water at the top. Egg roll parts at the bottom. I got the ends on. And the center dividers. What I'm doing, I'm going back. In the bottom of the center dividers, I'm putting hognose rings on. And I'm probably going to put one in every, in fact I will, in every space. I'm going to come up and put a hognose ring. Okay. Still got a couple more things to do and we'll be finished. Okay, what I'm doing, I'm putting a rod. See this rod right here? It's actually an all-thread rod. Okay, it runs the whole length of the cage. It's a 6-foot rod. Okay, here's the end of it. What does it say? 5/16, 18 thread. Don't make no difference in the thread, but 5/16 all-thread rod. It's 6 foot long and the cage is a 5 foot. So I'm just going to take my hacksaw and cut it right there. So what I did, I'm still not finished putting the hognose rings on. I'm going to put one in every section. Okay, watch right here. That's the size hognose rings I'm using. In my kit, what I got, the hognose I bought, there's large and there's small. So I'm using the smaller ones. The larger ones I use on the other parts of the cage. And just make sure you don't get the gate. Okay. And I'll just simply squeeze that down. Okay. I'm going to put one in every one. They're not quite, I almost have them. But if you remember before, I could shake this cage. I can shake this and the feeders would go in and out. Okay. I'm pushing on it right now. And it's not doing anything. It's not going in and out. Oh, I'm knocking my hognose rings down. So it definitely works. Okay. So I'd suggest, I'm thinking I paid $6 or $7 for that. Oh, it's an all-thread rod, and I got it at Lowe's. Okay. They have some other rods. They're not. They would rust. You'd have to paint them, and they still would end up rusting. Okay. It's like right here. And I see where the gate's at. I don't want to catch the gate. Catch this one right here. Okay. I just about got them all. We'll get every one of them, and I'll tell you what, it has really, really strengthened this cage up. Now I'm just going to take my hacksaw right here and just cut this off. I've been running the numbers on the business that I had before with my quail, and to get an idea, can you make money with quail, and how much money can you make? Okay. See right here, there's one. Of course, again, I'm doing this with one hand. I'll try it again. Okay. Make sure I didn't get the gate. Okay. So you get the idea, and it's really, really strengthens it up. I'll tell you what. It really strengthens. I definitely recommend doing that for about $7. Add it to your thing. But I crunched the numbers on what it costs to build this cage complete. With the watering system, the feeding system, the whole works. And I'm going to show that. And also, I'm going to make another video. It's not going to be in this series, like I said before. There's probably 8 or 9 videos in this series. So after I finish this series, I'm gonna do the numbers on it. Now I'm fixing to go get the pans. Okay. Tell you all about the pans, where I got the pans, and what size they are for this particular cage. Remember, this is not like the other ones that you can just buy. They buy the standard cage pans, and they build a cage around the pan. Okay. I got an extra 5 inches or 6 inches by 5 foot of cage floor. Okay. So that's why I did it this way. Now I measured for the pans. I knew what size pans I was going to get, and I'm going to get the pans. I'm going to show you the pans. And okay, I'm also, when I had my other quail, sometimes they get bumblefoot, and it's this wire. Okay. They're rubbing against this wire. Okay. They feet against this wire. Now, this wire's pretty smooth. It's not really rough. But still, they can get bumblefoot. Now, they're on the wire 24/7. Okay. And they need a little break from the wire. Now, some people will put a couple boards, like 2x4s, and lay them in there, and they'll get up on the 2x4s and rest their feet. Okay. You can do that. I also have some stuff coming in that I used many, many years ago. You got to take it out and clean it. It comes with square foot, it's like square foot tile. Okay. They hook together. Now you can put. I wouldn't cover the whole bottom of the cage with them unless you put all your bumblefoot quail in one cage and put that in there, because you do have to take it out and wash it. It's not hard to wash it. Wash it with a hose. It does have slots in it. And some of the poop will get through the slots, and you just lay it in there. I have that on order. I'm going to show it to you when I get it in. It comes in, like I say, 12-foot towels, and they got slots in it to where it's a rubber, to where a lot of the poop will go through it. Some of the poop will go through it, but you got to take it out every now and then and clean it. Well, bumblefoot is the problem with quail, okay, on wire. It's less of a problem if they got a place they can go to get off their feet, off the wire. Okay. It's a bacteria that sets in, sepsis. It's called sepsis, and people get it. People can get sepsis. I don't know if you can catch them from the quail. Probably can. I guess, I don't know. It's a bacteria. Wear your gloves if you got a bird with sepsis, with a bumblefoot. And so I'm going to show you that. But you can take a 2x4, little short pieces of 2x4, and put in there. The cage is 2 foot this way. Okay, so you could get just a couple of 18-inch boards and put one on each in the cage. But like I say, you definitely got to take them out and clean them. Now, the stuff I'm telling you about, you don't have to pull it out as much to clean them. Okay. So I really wanted to just show you the rod, how that really has beefed it everything up. Okay. So we're gonna wait to. Tomorrow I'm going to pick up the pans, and I'm going to show you how they're going to fit. The drip pan for the second cage. We're going to crunch the numbers, how much I made back when I was, or how much I sold. It's a different price, whole different price system now. Okay, whole different price system. These feeders right here are almost 20 bucks. Okay. I used to pay $4 for a J feeder. Okay, now I asked the guy why they're so high, Amazon, and they said, this is a 7-inch feeder. They said the tariffs. I don't know if they're using an excuse to get more money from you, or if it really is. If it is, these things are going up 3 times what I used to pay for. Okay, 3 times. So anyway, I crunched the numbers and I'll tell you exactly what it cost you to build this particular cage, exactly, and how much money you can make off of this cage. Okay, with the variables. I mean, you know, give you an idea so you can figure it out on your own. So I think I'm gonna call the video. Oh, what I said I was gonna call it. Well, raise quail for fun and profit. Can you raise quail for fun and profit? Okay. You can make money doing it. You can. You're not gonna get rich. You know. You'll have plenty of eggs, and you'll have plenty of meat if you eat the quail. Okay. So I crunched the numbers, and we're gonna look at that. Like I said, I'm gonna make another video. I'm going on and on and on. But I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna film the trays that I'm gonna put on top of the cage, and those little pieces that I'm talking about for a bumblefoot. It's not a bad idea to put a couple of them in each cage, and when your birds give them a place to rest their feet. Give them a little place to take a break. Okay, I'm gonna finish putting these hog nose rings all the way. Get my little hacksaw out and I'm gonna cut this. And but I'll definitely recommend that. They wouldn't believe how much that strengthens the cage up. I got that rod idea. That's not mine. Got that from a guy, Cortex Corner. He wrote the book on raising quail. This guy, if you're into raising quail, you know who I'm talking about. Okay. But like I said, I used the all thread rod. Now, it can eventually rust. It is coated like a bolt. Okay, it's not stainless steel or anything. But it definitely strengthens up this cage. It really makes it night and day. So definitely need to do that. Okay. We're gonna show you the pans and those mats I'm telling you about.